how to identify more mistakes so that you can learn faster. Welcome in, much love. Trav here, made it back to Humboldt from California, Southern California, and Vegas. Headed to Japan in a couple weeks on an adventure. Very excited about that. And today, I want to share with you, make you think about an advanced topic of how to identify more mistakes that you're making so that you can learn faster. This is an advanced topic because scrubs don't want to know how many mistakes they're making. In their mind, they're not making mistakes. They're closed off to the idea of it. They don't want feedback on it. They don't want to know how badly they're fucking up. So if you're a scrub, you can click off this video already. Everybody else, and those of us who are more advanced, we know that we're walking around blundering, or rather, we're playing imperfectly all the time in life, in Magic and games. We know that we could do things a little bit better. We could change one habit and we'll change a lot of things. We could have changed one play. There's always a little more nuanced way to do things to get better results that we want. And the key is identifying more mistakes. We don't necessarily want to make more mistakes, but we want to identify more mistakes so we can see what we're doing wrong, what we can tweak, what we can change, and so on. So let's get started with some keys to identifying more mistakes. If you're ready, again, you have to be okay with making mistakes and hungry to discover them. You have to think, I don't know what I don't know. I'm probably making all these things, and the more I can find, the more I can correct, right? I don't necessarily want to make more. I want to identify them around me, but I want to get feedback so I can change and get better. Okay, so that's already the first step, is mindset approach. But here's number one key. One of the keys is that a mistake or an imperfection, the result is often manifested many steps after the mistake, right? There's a problem with the machine and the output sucks, and you don't know where that mistake was in the 20 steps along the machine, and that's hard because it's going to be very difficult to identify. Let me give you an example that many of you can relate to. Here, the problem is that, and this doesn't apply to me today because I did a good job of this yesterday, but the problem is I'm tired today. I'm not performing well today. I feel sick. It's a Monday. I don't feel good, right? Well, where's the mistake? I didn't sleep well last night. I had to get up early. Where's the mistake? Well, the mistake, it could be a number of things. Back up the chain. One mistake could be I was on my phone or computer too late last night. Okay, is that the mistake? Well, it's actually steps before that. I didn't know, either didn't have the knowledge that being on a device causes insomnia, or I had the knowledge but did not have the discipline. Why did I not have the knowledge of that? I'm not learning enough. That's your mistake. You're tired today because you're not learning fast enough, right? Or you're tired today because you don't have enough discipline. Or you're tired today because you took the wrong job that's asking you to wake up at an unnatural time, right? You can see that it's hard to even find the mistake, but mistake is manifested today where I could have made a mistake like 9 years ago, right? That's an example. So you have to think, like, in Magic, I'm playing a game. I lost this game, and it seems like there's nothing that I could have done on this one turn, but the mistake was how I built my deck, because I just shouldn't have even drawn these cards. I'm playing the wrong stuff. I picked the wrong card, and I built the wrong deck. I picked the wrong card because I had the wrong information, and I didn't have enough people checking in on me, right? So that's something you have to realize, is when you're thinking deeply, and that's going to be the next step we're going to move on to, but you have to, it's not going to be obvious always what your mistake was, because say there's 7 levels and the problem is manifested on the 7th level. The mistake might have been made on the 1st or 2nd level, and you're going to have to really go back and look. So that's number 2. Number 1 is understand that mistakes happen further up the chain. Number 2 key right now, and that's after mindset as well. Number 2 key, you have to think deeply. So you have to have a review period. While you're performing or during your day, as you do things, or as you're playing the game, the match, you have to be focused on accomplishing your goal right now, your short-term goal. So you can't be hyper fixated on your mistakes and locating them. But you have to have review periods. You know, Michael Jordan said after his games or he missed a shot, whatever, he would spend 15 minutes thinking about that mistake and not revisit it. Or he would go to the court and he would go reshoot all the shots that he missed from the previous game, make them 10 times in a row. But what he's not doing is in the game itself, fixating on it. So you have to have a review period after the tournament, after the game, at night before the next day. Like, what could I have done better today? Ritualistic review period. I'm gonna think deeply on it. I'm gonna think about what I wanted and the things that I did not get. And then I'm gonna go up the process, up the chain, looking for possible mistakes, right? And again, scrubs aren't gonna be able to do this because it's too painful to look up the chain and identify mistakes. So a lot of people don't want that and they're not gonna be able to do it, right? So have to have a good mindset. You have to understand that mistakes happen up the chain. You have to think deeply, ritualistically, to identify this stuff. And then the fourth and the last one, I know I kind of messed with the numbering here. And the last and the very most important, and I talk about this a lot, is you have to be getting feedback on what you're doing from other people in order to speed this up, identify correctable mistakes faster. And it seems kind of obvious that you want a coach watching you, or you want players watching you, or you want close friends knowing what you're doing, the things that you're doing, and what you're trying to get, and able to give you feedback and say, like, you know, look for mistakes for you. Here's the issue that sadly many people don't get this. Many people, probably more than half the people don't get this, don't want to hear mistakes and become uncoachable. They shut down if anyone questions or says maybe you should have done that. Then they'll say, they'll just get real defensive, and you can't, you start again around these people to feel, you know, walking on eggshells type thing, where you're like, you know, I can't teach a pig to fly, sorry, and if I try to teach the pig to fly, it won't be able to, it won't like it, right? You don't want to be that person that gets real defensive and real angry anytime there's an opportunity to be told about a mistake, right? You want to invite it, say, hey, what could I do better? What do you think I could have done better? What do you like, you know? And if there's a lot of people saying the same thing, you'll consider it. And that's important, because if you become uncoachable, people will think about all the mistakes you're making and never tell you, right? They just won't tell you because you won't accept it anyways. But if you invite it, say, hey, what could I have done better? And you make videos like this, or you send out to your office or your team or your group anonymous surveys and say, what can I do better? You get a lot of good feedback and are able to correct things and move on to where you're getting. My caveat here is that you want your advice to be coming from the top, right? Michael Jordan's known to ask the most questions of anyone basketball player, but he's calling Tex Winter, one of the top basketball coaches, he's calling Phil Knight. He's not taking advice from the scrubs themselves, right? He's not listening to them, but he's making sure to surround himself with people who can see what he's doing and are experienced, and is not closed to all sources of feedback just from scrubs, right? So that's a caveat, is you can use authority bias to filter out your feedback, because scrubs don't necessarily know. And that said, if you hear enough of the feedback that says the same thing, then you know maybe there's something. So those are keys to getting of hearing. Those are keys to identifying more mistakes so you can correct them, so you can learn faster. Have to have the mindset knowing that I don't know what I don't know. I want to get feedback on. I want to think deeply while understanding that mistakes are happening far up the chain, and just because I can't see the mistake doesn't mean it's not there. It might have been something I did 5 years ago that caused this problem right now. And I want to have ritualistic times to think deeply about things I could do better. And I want people in my corner who observe me and see what I'm doing and are able to give me feedback that I invite from them. And then you do this, you're going to identify tons of mistakes, and allow you to correct things and notice patterns and learn extremely fast. And again, it's too painful for a lot of people. Like, making mistakes is a really painful thing, but it helps if you just think as imperfect play is perfect play is impossible in life, in Magic, in basketball, in baseball. You're not going to make every shot. You're not going to hit every home run. You're not going to strike everyone out. And it's not necessarily mistakes, it's just imperfect. How do I play a little bit closer to perfect? That's a that's a goal, it's not an expectation. I'm just trying to get better. So hope you find that useful. Two things: those of you watching this on the Travis Wizard Magic the Gathering channel who want Magic coaching, and I will tell you what mistakes you're making, how you're fucking up. You can apply to that below if you're serious. And for those of you on the Travis Wu channel, hope you find this useful. Let's apply it right now. Real quick, something to think about and meditate on. The process there's a lot to think about, but what's a result that you did not get that you were hoping for? And think deeply about what could have gone differently, what you could have done differently. And for me, I'm thinking back to my last tournament. I did well, but I didn't get the exact result that I wanted, and was able to, I had people tell me some of the mistakes I made, and I thought very deeply, and I was able to find 4 mistakes that I made in my last game, some of them far up the chain, and I'm going to be able to improve on those and correct those going into my next tournament and be able to smack that ass. So your comment: what was the thing that you wanted? I wanted to win this tournament, I did not. How did you know what happened, and what are you going to do? So leave that comment down below, and wish you much love. I give you much love and good luck, and speak to you soon. Peace. Keep going. We got it. You got it. I believe in you. Catch your mistakes. Don't be a scrub, and you're going to keep learning faster this way. Peace.